Hi, I'm Kevin from the Treasure Coast Business Spotlight, brought to you by Fiorella Insurance, and I'm excited to be out on location today at On's Martial Arts Academy with my good buddy here, Maurice McCormack. And Maurice and On, who's the Grandmaster?
He's the master, yes sir.
He's the master,
the
yes.
Master, right?
He's the master. They've got a wealth of experience in martial arts. So if you're considering maybe putting your kids through martial arts, then you'll enjoy this conversation, and you're going to see that Maurice has a lot of passion for martial arts, and you can see it in the academy here. So just to get a little bit into it, Maurice, tell me a little bit about your experience in the martial arts world.
Sure. Well, I've been taking martial arts for about 15 years. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been instructing for about 10.
Okay.
So as far as translating martial arts to everyday life, I find that it's not just physical, but obviously it's the way we treat people, the way you can consider others, empathize with people who may need your help. As a martial artist, we live by a certain code, and
Okay.
I think that kind of exemplifies everything we do.
So it gets into everything. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great. So I'm sure you're probably passionate about martial arts in general, not just martial arts here in this academy.
Sure.
So what would be some reasons that people would want their kids to get into martial arts?
Great question. Reasons for getting into martial arts. One, it would be the disciplinary aspect of it.
Okay.
It keeps you organized. As your children move on in life, college, workplace, it gives them an opportunity to really stay on task.
Okay.
Not only being disciplined in the physical aspect, but also as far as staying with something, right? So take football, take baseball, a recreational sport.
Okay.
Martial art is different in the sense where if you start it, you have to obtain a goal like the black belt, right?
Right.
Or you would like to obtain your black belt. So therefore it gives a child, a person, an opportunity to really strive for something long term.
Okay.
Right? So that really helps to cultivate a person that's gonna be really focused on the long-term goals, i.e. college, something like that.
Yeah, 'cause I'm sure it helps too, because society's gotten very gamified, as they say.
Sure, absolutely.
But with martial arts, you get different color belts, depending on what type of martial arts
Absolutely,
and all
right.
that fun stuff. So those are little goals kind of along the way to the black belt,
Absolutely.
or
Yep.
winning the sparring academy,
Whatever it
something
may
like
be.
that. Yeah.
Right.
So what are some different types of martial arts, and what would be some pros and cons of getting into those?
Right. So here at the On's Martial Arts Academy, we teach Taekwondo.
Okay.
We do Hapkido.
Okay.
And we also do ki training. Right.
Okay.
So the way these three martial arts differ is Taekwondo would be, imagine something like karate. Most people are familiar with that.
Okay.
So Taekwondo is actually a Korean martial art, not Japanese.
Okay.
But we put an emphasis on kicking. We do pumse, which would be like form or your kata.
Okay.
And obviously a lot of sparring. And it would be 70% kicking, about 30% punching, right?
Okay.
So our emphasis is to learn to be like a master of kicking.
Okay.
Like a boxer would use his hands proficiently, you would like to be able to kick like have the freedom to use your legs the same way.
Gotcha.
That's Taekwondo. We also have the Hapkido. Hapkido is great because it's great for older people, right?
Okay.
And not only older people, but as a young man or a young person or young woman, you can start and you can cultivate those skills over time as well too. It's not a martial art you're just limited to your physical ability, right?
Okay.
It's great for actual self-defense, knife defense, defense against firearms.
Okay.
Multiple opponents, believe it or not. So Hapkido is a true old school self-defense martial art that has nothing to do with sport. Where the Taekwondo, we do have avenues like the Olympics, Taekwondo sparring, pumse, like I mentioned earlier, which would be the form. So if kids want to compete from a competitive nature, they can opt to do the Taekwondo, and the Hapkido gives you the opportunity to learn self-defense and cultivate it over time. Lastly, we have a lot going on here.
Sure.
Lastly, we have the ki training, which is essentially energy training, like ki. A lot of people are familiar with. This helps to actually strengthen one's breathing. There's a lot of meditation involved, and it actually has multiple health benefits that a lot of people are unaware of. It all starts with the breath, essentially.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, yep.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Now, you hear a lot about other types of martial arts like JiuJitsu. Seems to be getting a lot of publicity these days.
Absolutely.
Now, what would be the benefit of doing Taekwondo versus Jiu-Jitsu?
Great question. Right, so Jiu-Jitsu, Judo are all great martial arts. As a martial artist, a martial art enthusiast, I feel like whatever your style may be, that's a good avenue for yourself. Of course, I'm biased towards Taekwondo.
Sure.
So that's just a prerequisite for my other martial artists. But
okay.
So but as far as the differences, I'd say Taekwondo is effective because you have the ability to stay off of the ground, right? Jiu-Jitsu, Judo are ground-based, right?
Right.
Grappling martial arts, which is, I think, very important as far as defending yourself on the floor, or if a combative situation still happens to go there. But our philosophy is to never have to hit the ground in the first place. Because let's say in a scenario where you're out in public, you may be dealing with multiple opponents, or an unideal environment like gravel, or like the floor of like a damp restaurant or something like that. So therefore, if you can stay on your feet, you're gonna have the ability to defend yourself against multiple people if need be. Most people don't travel alone. And B, you won't put yourself in a position where you're potentially set up for a more dangerous situation, like somebody with a weapon, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha.
And a lot of Hapkido guys or Jiu-Jitsu, Judo guys will argue that 30% of combative situations do go to the floor, or the majority. So I'd say if you can really learn to stay on your toes, then ideally your Taekwondo will work optimally there.
So as a parent, if I'm looking to get my kids into one, I don't want my kids going to the floor.
Right.
So, if it's really less about worried about getting jumped by 6 people, but more like the bully on the schoolyard, which is probably more practical for kids, I would imagine.
Sure, absolutely.
I would think it would make more sense for me as a parent to say, oh, okay, well, I just want my kid to have the confidence to stand up to that bully.
Right.
Is that kind of one of the things you would say Taekwondo has an advantage?
Absolutely, and I think with the confidence, you hit the nail on the head, right?
Okay.
Because ultimately, whether it be Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, Karate, Muay Thai, Kung Fu, etc., it doesn't matter. As long as your child's able to cultivate the ability to defend himself, then naturally there will be confidence that coincides with that, right? So I think just simply instilling your child with the ability to protect himself, your child, that student is going to be better off than the student who had no training whatsoever,
right? Or
didn't have the confidence to defend himself as well, right? So, because I just look at martial arts as something beneficial for a young person and old person generally, just because of the extra benefits of training, right? There's certain things that come along with actual doing it that naturally coincide with making
help with self-control and perseverance and things like that. Yeah,
you name it, whatever it may be. I feel I can find a way that Taekwondo will benefit that person.
Gotcha.
From my personal experiences as well.
And if anything, if the child is confident, they're probably more likely to repel the bully. Just in general, the bully is less likely to.
Absolutely. And I'll give you my philosophy on that. I feel like most self-defense situations, combative situations, are coming from 2 individuals with something to prove, right? Like, I'm tougher than you, you're tougher than me. Like, we have to prove that, right? So therefore, like, if you can instill a student with confidence, that student can have the ability to portray like someone who doesn't want to be messed with, right? Right. The posture in itself is helpful, right? B, that student will have the ability to, say, I'm not going to engage in a combative situation with this person because I don't have anything to prove, right?
Right.
And I always teach my students that their mind is the most valuable weapon, right? So if you can diffuse a situation with a conversation and not feel like you're having to sacrifice anything from it because you're confident enough in your abilities, then that's the best way to defend yourself, right?
Right.
Right. It's simply using your mind. It's very simple. But if the student has to, I do want them to feel like their techniques and skills that they learn here will be able to help them in a scenario where it's their last ditch effort, right? So it all boils down to diffusing the situation, right? Having the patience and the intelligence and the ability to neutralize a combative situation, and then using the skills if need be.
Gotcha. But it's one of those things, the skills are there, but that doesn't mean they have to use it or whatnot.
Right.
Sometimes parents might be worried like, oh, I don't want my kid to become the bully or whatever.
Right,
but
precisely, and that's huge, absolutely. And that's funny that you would mention that. I think we do, as instructors, have to put a real emphasis on like looking in the mirror and making sure you're not that person who's bullied as well too, especially if you're someone who's trained. So I think that's a huge aspect of it as well too. So I think teaching students courtesy, perseverance, self-control, to have an indomitable spirit, which is our Taekwondo code. Within the code, it creates character.
Right.
Within that code, like it's all within the martial art.
Okay, good deal. So if we were to compare it to, for lack of a better comparison, Karate Kid.
Sure, yeah.
Where you have Mr. Miyagi, and then you have, what was it, the Cobras?
Yeah, Danielson and the Cobra.
Right.
The Cobra Kai, yeah.
The
Absolutely.
Cobra Kai.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you guys are teaching them more on the
I'm
Danielson
more,
than the Cobra Kai.
I'm more Mr. Miyagi. Than Cobra Kai,
Right.
yeah, absolutely. So is Master Ron. And it's funny you would say that. So as far as that goes, granted that is karate, but yeah, I would like my students to leave and feel like they're not just inherently tough guys just because they take martial arts, but they do have the ability to defend themselves regardless.
Right, so it's more just about defensive than offensive.
Right, cultivating
tactics.
like good human beings, like sincerely. Like,
Yeah.
like, you can defend yourself, that's great, but don't go out there and cause a problem because of your ability to kick or to punch or to block, etc. So.
Right. Well, good deal. So if somebody wanted to get their kids into martial arts, is it like, are there seasons? Like, football has a season, theater maybe has a season, ballet might have a season, or is this something they can get into at various points?
Sure, another great question. Right, so the nice part about Taekwondo is it's year-round, it's air-conditioned, and it's inside. We're not seasonal, so if you want to bring your student by or your child by in the summertime, we have that ability. If you would like your child to take Taekwondo year-round, that's also an option.
Okay, good deal. So you have kids starting at various levels throughout the year?
Absolutely, yeah. We my day-to-day is like almost like a social experiment because I start with the 5-year-olds, which is a different interaction.
I'm sure.
And then we end up with the adults, like in
Right.
our Hapkido class. So we deal with all age groups, all walks of life. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, is it best to go to their website, or do you have someplace you'd want them to call?
Sure. They can reach us here at On's Martial Arts Academy, or they can find us at martialartsstewart.com. And feel free, reach out, call Master On if you have any questions regarding getting your child into martial arts.
Well, good deal. Thank you so much for being here in the Treasure Coast Business Spotlight.
Likewise.
Well, appreciate that. So hopefully you found this video to be helpful. If you did, we'd absolutely love it if you can give us a little thumbs up icon, whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook. Give it that thumbs up. And we'll go ahead and link to On's Martial Arts Academies. So in case you did have any questions, it'll be, depending on whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, it'll be either above or below this video. So thank you so much for watching this, and have yourself a great day. Take care.